Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for coming out in this weather, braving the rain and the cold. My name is Reverend Deborah Gretton Ganberg, and on behalf of the co-pastors and our Board of Trustees, welcome to Colby Memorial Temple this morning. To begin our service, Lynn Pontiac will light 3 candles for us, symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit. Thank you, Lynn. Please rise now for our opening prayer and remain standing for our first hymn. Infinite Intelligence, Great Spirit, please help us to open our ears this morning so that we can hear your voice, and open our minds so that we may receive your wisdom, and help us to open our hearts so that we may receive your infinite love. For all of this and so much more, we say thank you, Spirit. Amen. Our first hymn will be led by our vocalist, Jamie Osmond, and it's number 162, Spirit Calls Us. That's 162.
I never know if there's going to be an intro or not. Okay, here we go. Spirit calls us o'er the tumult of our lives, what restless sea. Day and night these message bearers send the tidings where we be. And though the prophets heard them by the gas of and rain, so in homes and halls and temples, still they come for ardent sing. Spirit calls us, for they love us. Angels have but fear the call. Send we back the affection's message. Little angels love them all. Angels call us from our thrones, therefore the thought is firm. Even death is shorn of power, there is coming within the tomb. Thank you, you may be seated.
Located on the handout in the front cover of our hymnal are our Declaration of Principles. Please join with me now in reciting these principles together. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expressions of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule: whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. And now the healing prayer is located in the back of your hymnal. Please recite with me the prayer for spiritual healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help, and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. And now for those of you who would wish to receive spiritual healing, please take a seat along the wall and go to the next available healer. And there are chairs on both sides of the temple there for you to sit down and wait for the next available healer. While the healers work, the rest of us will join in a guided meditation. And so just allow yourselves to get comfortable in your chairs. And close your eyes. And prepare to journey within. Becoming aware of your breath. Just breathing in and breathing out. Noticing the steady, quiet rhythm of your breathing. And letting go of any thoughts that may come up for you. Seeing them float away as a balloon flows gently into the sky silently. Just allow your thoughts to float away. And allow yourself to feel safe and comfortable and relaxed. And now visualize yourself just taking a walk in the country to a place of beauty and tranquility. It's a warm summer's day, no rain, and the sky is so blue with just an occasional fluffy cloud floating high above. The sun is shining brightly and the birds are singing happily. It's just so peaceful here, away from the busyness of life. And you notice your surroundings, the colors are so bright and clear. And then you hear a stream running by, nearby. And you can hear the water as it gently flows over the rocks and stones. The gentle breeze is blowing through the air. You can hear it rustling the leaves on the trees. You see a large oak tree nearby, and so you decide to sit under it for a while and be in total harmony with the beautiful surroundings. This is a place where you can feel safe and secure and free from all the hustle and bustle and busyness of life. Just letting it all go. And as you look up into the sky, you see what looks like a star, but it's no ordinary star. For this star not only shines during the day, it shines with all the colors of the rainbow. And as you continue to gaze upon this beautiful star, you realize it's gently drifting down like a feather towards you. And soon it is hovering right over your head. And you find yourself being encompassed within this beautiful rainbow of colors. And it just feels so peaceful. Just allow all these beautiful colors to soak into you, feeling them cleansing and purifying every cell of your being. And soon the rainbow is replaced by a radiant golden glow. And you find yourself filled with feelings of love and compassion for yourself and for all of nature, for all forms of life. And within that glow, you see standing right before you a beautiful angel or guide. And you know in your heart that this presence is here to help you in some way. You begin to realize that you're able to solve problems that have been bothering you for some time now. And that no problem is so large that you can't handle it. Knowing that you have the loving support of this angel or guide that has especially come to you. For this divine presence knows everything there is to know about you and loves you unconditionally in spite of your human struggles, in spite of the human condition. This presence has always been and will always be there, standing beside you, to guide you, and to help you in any way possible. Just take a few moments now to be present with this angel or guide. To ask them any questions that you might have about life, and to listen to their wisdom and their guidance. Take this time to thank them for all the blessings you have received in your life. And for all the blessings you will continue to receive. Now, just before your divine helper departs, they place a gift before you. A gift that is meaningful to you in some special way. Allow that gift to appear in front of you now. And taking all that love and you. Now, as you express your thanks to this beautiful angel of God, it merges back into the rainbow of colors and then into that sky as it floats effortlessly up from where it came. But you can still feel the halo of the powerful, loving light surrounding you. And you now know wherever you are and whatever you're doing, your divine presence is always watching over you, protecting you, and guiding you. And most of all, just loving you for who you are. And you notice that everything seems so much brighter now and lighter. And you are filled with such a beautiful sense of peace. And so taking a deep breath in and just letting it out. You can once again feel yourself coming back to this space, feeling yourself in your body, your feet on the floor, and feeling that wonderful energy from Mother Earth just coming up into your feet, into your legs, just through your whole body, and out your head, back up into the heavens. And so gently, whenever you're ready, just open your eyes and come back into Kobe Temple here, fully present, knowing in a deep place that you are better for this. And so you are. And welcome back to Kobe. Sorry to go you from that nice sunny day. If you have received a healing resulting in a correction or an improvement, please complete the yellow card in your hymnal. It looks like this. And give it to the pastor at the back of the temple, or mail the card into us, or you can even place the card in the collection plate when that comes around. We'd like to thank our healers for sharing their gift of healing this morning. The healers from that side to that side in order are Darlene McCormick, Margarita Varela, Daryl DeMerit, and Coquette Cruz. Thank you all so much for giving your gift of healing this morning. We really appreciate it. Now please stand for our next hymn, number 4, For the Beauty of the Earth.
beauty of the earth, for the beauty of the skies, for the lovely from the around us lies, wonderful to thee we raise. We saw him of grateful praise, for the beauty of each hour, of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light, audible to thee we raise. We saw him of grateful praise, for the joy of human love. Brother, sister, parent, child, friends on earth and friends above, for all gentle thoughts and mild, audible to thee we raise. This our hymn of grateful praise, for the church that evermore lifted holy hands above, offering upon every shore the pure sacrifice of love. Lord, to thee we raise. These are hymn of grateful praise. Thank you. You may be seated.
And now I have the honor of introducing our guest speaker this morning. Reverend Dr. Sheldon Ganberg is one of the co-pastors here at Colby Memorial Temple and director of Lyceum, known as Adult Sunday School, which some of you were at this morning. He is also an SCSC/MA certified medium, healer, and teacher, and teaches classes and workshops here at the camp. Reverend Sheldon has served on a number of committees, including the Education Committee, and has served on the Board of Trustees. I'm also lucky enough to have him as my husband, so I need to just say that. And so please join me now in a warm welcome for Reverend Dr. Sheldon Ganberg.
Thank you, dear. Hello, everybody. Well, I want to wish you all a happy belated Valentine's Day. And as I was wondering what I was going to talk about today, I thought, gee, how about talking about love? And I talked about love a lot, but now I'd like to share a little bit about building a healthy relationship, a love relationship with yourself, which is greatly needed and important. So I'd like to begin by saying, according to the National Council on Alcohol and Drug Dependence and the National Institutes of Health, approximately 29.5 million Americans have either alcohol or drug-related problems. Now, bear with me now. I have an aim here. Approximately 53% of Americans have one or more close relatives who have an alcohol dependency problem. In addition, 43% of American adults have been exposed to the problem of alcoholism in the family, either as something they grew up with or something they experienced with a spouse or a partner. Also, 1 in 5 children in the United States live in a home with a parent who is dependent on alcohol and/or prescribed recreational drugs. If these figures are not startling enough, here are some more. Depressive disorders affect approximately 21 million American adults each year. And according to the latest statistics, 8.6 million people are prescribed antidepressants by their physicians, and many of these prescriptions are prescribed without the physician recommending counseling along with it. There's something terribly wrong with this picture, and we are truly living in a hurting society right now. A lot of chaos out there. And so, in my opinion, it's easy to blame the chaos that we see in our world outside of ourselves. Very easy. Listen to the news, just listen to what's going on out there. It's about them out there. It's easy to say that the devil or the enemy out there is doing it to us. However, I truly believe that the only way to heal our society's wounds is to begin to look within and heal our own individual wounds. As we heal ourselves, we will have a healing effect on our loved ones, our community, and our sacred planet. What we're seeing in our planet is simply a reflection of what is going on in the consciousness of humanity. And so, in my opinion, all disease is multifaceted. It's complex. There are physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual components to it. I believe that all levels must be addressed to maintain optimal health, inner peace, and healthy relationships with ourselves. Our American culture has learned to look outside of ourselves to make ourselves feel better inside. Again, we use drugs and alcohol and nicotine and food, work, money, shopping, gambling, relationships, and sex, and even religion to fill the gap between our woundedness and our wholeness. Although we may have a genetic predisposition to certain addictions or emotional or mental challenges, usually addictions and mental challenges are a reaction to physical or emotional trauma or a series of traumatic events, often beginning in childhood. Addictions are simply a form of self-medication to take the edge off of anxiety and depression or intense feelings. It's a way of coping with dis-ease. And so, do you want to hear the good news or the bad news? I'll give you the bad news first. The world is in crisis. The good news is the world is in crisis. The good news is that whenever we have a crisis, there is an opportunity for positive change and healing. In the Chinese languages, the word crisis is formed by a combination of 2 words. One means danger, and the other opportunity. And so we have an opportunity right now to heal our planet, our communities, our significant relationships, and ourselves. It's all about relationship because we're all interconnected. On a global level, our economies are interconnected, And having healthy economy is dependent on having healthy relationship. My own perspective is that building a healthy relationship with another person or even our community begins with self and ultimately begins with loving ourselves and being compassionate towards ourselves. And so how can we create peace in this world without love and compassion? And how can we love one another without loving ourselves? Impossible. The Dalai Lama states, "Love and compassion is my simple religion. There is no need for temples, no need for complicated philosophy. Our own brain, our own heart is our temple. And the philosophy is kindness." So, the solution to this complex problem that I just presented is to be compassionate and to love yourself unconditionally. I know, easier said than done. And so, what is love? Here's one definition given by the philosopher and metaphysician Ernest Holmes. He states that love is the self-givingness through creation, the impartation of the divine through the human. Love is the central flame of the universe, the very fire itself, manifesting itself within each and every one of us. Love is God, and God is love. There have been many times in my life, especially in my deepest moments of despair, that I really struggled with loving myself or others. It is at these times that I have asked God, why is it that I judge others and judge myself even more? Why is it that my behavior often doesn't match the truth of my being and what I really believe? There's a discrepancy there sometimes. And so I'll present these questions to you. Why is it that we say hurtful things to our loved ones when we know darn well that they are hurtful? Why is it that we can be with our loved ones and still feel unloved and alone? Why is it that we can say positive affirmations to ourselves and still feel short of whole? Well, there's no short, quick, easy answer to these existential questions. But what I can say is that we all have the capacity to heal and love ourselves and love others. We all have that inside. Yes, indeed, the DNA of God is within each and every one of us, and we all have the capacity to access and feel the God within. Our natural urge and yearning is to love ourselves. But do we love ourselves unconditionally, no matter what? Do we love all the parts of ourselves and all the facets of ourselves, even the parts that don't smell so good? I would like to share with you some information that may be helpful. We know that love is the unifying force of the universe. It is the glue that binds us all together. When we look into a baby's eyes, we see pure, innocent love. When we see a baby smile, We often feel love in our body and in our hearts. Well, what if I was to say to you that this love that you see and feel is all a projection? What if this innocent, pure love that you see in the smile of a baby is a reflection of the pure, innocent love that is within you, that is within each and every one of you? Here's another way of expressing this. How do we recognize love when we see it if we don't already know that is within ourselves? It's all in there. How do we recognize spiritual truths that we read in sacred texts to be true, unless it's a part of us already? Inside ourselves, it's the truth within that we already know, that we came into this earth plane with. Well, if this principle is true, then when we judge another person harshly, this is also a reflection of our own self-judgment. We know on a soul level that we are all individualized expression of God or universal intelligence, and that we are whole and complete. We also know that all disease, physical, emotional, and mental, are false perceptions that we are separate from God. And these false perceptions actually begin when we are conceived. Not born, but conceived. According to Thomas Varney, MD, and John Kelly, authors of The Secret Life of the Unborn Child, the origins of human consciousness begins not at birth, but at conception, and when the baby is being carried into utero. This book discusses how the human mind is shaped according to our life experiences. Our personalities are also partially formed by influences from our parents before we're even born. And so the thoughts, attitudes, and feelings of our parents will set the tone for what is to come from conception to birth, and from birth all the way to adulthood. And so many of the attitudes we have are based upon impressions and attitudes and decisions we have made from conception to birth, and all the way through our childhood to adulthood. Many of the decisions and attitudes that we have are based on information that is filtered from the subconscious mind to the conscious mind. And many of our decisions that we have made are through a child's eyes. And may I add that many of the decisions that we make are based upon the false perception that we are separate from God, as we said before. This means that from a psychological perspective, we often live in what I call fractured states of consciousness. These fractured states of consciousness are known as subpersonalities. And this is something that Carl Jung and Robert Assagioli, the originator of psychosynthesis, talked about very clearly. What this means is that we often identify with different parts of selves. Now hang in with me here. One part of self may be known as the judge. So if we have learned from our parents or from our family lineage or from society to judge others and judge ourselves harshly, we can hear that voice and react from that state of consciousness. Another part may be the lost child or the child who acts out. And so if we grew up in a family where there was lots of fighting, or we felt unloved or invisible, we may have developed various ways to cope. One way we may have coped was to act out as a teenager. Another way could be to withdraw inside ourselves. These states of consciousness or subpersonalities have been known in humanistic psychology and transpersonal psychology as the rebellious child or the lost child. Another part is the hero. If we grew up in a family where achievement was overstressed, we may have taken on the role of the family hero. An example of this may be feeling pressured in getting all A's in school or being the captain of a football team to gain love we so badly needed. And so we become adults, and we may notice that we continue to play out these roles of judging ourselves harshly, withdrawing from others, or rebelling, or achieving at all costs. A few other common states of consciousness or subpersonalities could be the perfectionist, the rescuer, the people pleaser, the macho man, the good mama, the nurturer, the wise old man and woman, the healer, etc., etc., etc. I can go on forever. The thing to be aware of is that all these subpersonalities, including the ones we rather not recognize, live within us. They are states of consciousness. They cannot be amputated, abolished, or otherwise excised. If you reject them, you only push them underground, further into the subconscious mind. Many people who are new to spiritualism or new to one of the many spiritual disciplines just cover up some of the unsavory subpersonalities with what I call whipped cream and cherries, the whipped cream and cherry syndrome. This shows itself in the individual who's covering up rage with false niceness. Here, often the rage sneaks out sideways. And so, to close, I'll say a few words about the spiritual path. To me, one aspect of the spiritual path is about our willingness to be honest with ourselves, to have the courage to honor all the parts of self. We can look at these parts of self as our inner family. Some inner family members may be calling out for help and attention and love and nurturing. The important thing is that we are honest with ourselves, and we look at ourselves honestly, and we have the capacity, if we do that, to heal and grow. If we are in denial about that, it'll leak out some way. So we need to be honest with ourselves, and then healing can occur. As we take off our masks and see these inner parts of ourselves, we become conscious of who they are, and ultimately heal ourselves. When we are aware of who they are, we can give them a voice and find out what they need. When we find out what they really need, we can negotiate and make friends and ultimately make peace with them. We can embrace them with compassionate listening. We can parent them using all that we have learned in our inner healing work. By embracing our inner states of consciousness, we can transform all the wounded parts of ourselves into our strengths. Embracing all the parts of ourselves is truly loving ourselves. It's loving ourselves unconditionally. And as we love ourselves and we see all aspects of ourselves with spiritual eyes, we are then being compassionate towards ourselves. We can truly be compassionate and love the people who we are in relationship with. We can build healthy relationships with our loved ones, our communities, and our sacred planet. God bless you all. And may we all forge on to ascend and transform and become whole and make this world a better place to live. God bless.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. During our musical interlude, we will be passing the basket. And we thank you in advance for your generosity. Our musical interlude will be presented by Jamie. This is one of my favorite songs.
May need to turn it up a bit. I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, oh, well, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. And you say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I am held when I'm falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe the only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Ooh, oh, well, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. And you say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I'm yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. Oh, I believe. Taking all I have and now I'm laying it at your feet. You'll have every failure, God. You'll have every victory. Ooh, oh, well, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. And you say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I'm held when I'm falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I'm yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe, yes, I believe. Oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe. Thank you, Spirit, for always believing. And I believe, I feel it, I absolutely feel it in everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. That was just amazing. Thank you. Whew. She always gets me rhyming. Always. I'm not singing now. Nice try, Bob. Let us have an attitude of prayer now. Thank us for the gift. Thank God for the gifts. We give thanks for these gifts before us, so generously given. And we see this loving energy going forth to support Cassadaga in doing its loving healing work in the world, which is so, so needed. We say thank you, Spirit. Amen. We have some announcements this morning. Next Wednesday, February 22nd, at our Wednesday evening message service, our message bearer will be Joy Sager, Next Sunday, February 25th, our guest speaker at our 10:30 service, this one, will be Reverend Diane Davis. Every Sunday, we have Adult Lyceum, also known as Adult Sunday School, from 9:30 to 10:15 a.m. in the Andrew Jackson Davis building, which is our bookstore at the corner. And next Sunday, February 25th, our Lyceum speaker is Reverend Dr. Sheldon Yenberg again. Announcements of upcoming events. This afternoon, Lori Carter will be doing a workshop on the symbology of the Tarot from 2 to 5 p.m. in the Andrew Jackson Davis building, the bookstore. Also, just a heads up for next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, our new member orientation will be held from 1 to 2 p.m. So anyone interested in becoming a member or really interested in finding out more about the camp, you're all welcome. It'll be in the Berkner building, which is at 1090 Stevens Street, and that's right across from the bookstore, the white building. To participate in absentee healing, please print the name and first initial of the last name of a loved one, a friend, or even a pet in our healing book, which is in that corner of the temple. And every Thursday morning, we have our healing meditation circle at 11 a.m. in the Andrew Jackson Davis building, where all the names on the healing list are held in prayer, and all are welcome to attend. Flyers for camp events are at the back of the temple, and we have an activities calendar and a church bulletin in your hymnal for you to take home or give to a friend. This is what they look like here, and there's extras in the back. So take them out of your hymnal if you want to take them home, and if you want to grab some extras for a friend, please do that too. Also, our website, cassadaga.org, also has the monthly information as well as other upcoming events. So you can hop on to cassadaga.org and find out all about us as well. Please stand for our next hymn now, number 110, Count Your Blessings. And I want to thank Reverend Judy Cooper for getting us all these tambourines as well. And she keeps adding to it because so many people are taking them. We need more. So thank you, Judy Cooper, Reverend Judy Cooper, for doing that.
When upon life's billows you are tempted, when you are discouraged, thinking all is lost, count your many blessings, taken one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord hath done. Count your blessings, taken one by one. Now to blessing, see what God has done. Now to blessing, take them one by one. Now to blessing, see what God has done. Are you ever burdened with the long care? Does the cross seem heavy you are called to bear? Now to many blessings every mountain climb, and you will be singing as the days go by. Now the blessings ending one by one. Now your blessings, see what God has done. Now your blessings, name them one by one. Blessings, see what God hath done. So amid the conflict, whether great or small, do not be discouraged, God is over all. Count your many blessings, angels will not fail. Help and comfort in you till your journey ends. Count your blessings, sing them one by one. Count your blessings, sing what God has done. Count your blessings, sing them one by one. Count your blessings, sing what God has done. Thank you. You may be seated.
You guys did great on that one. You weren't fooled by that last line there and holding that. Good job. I also just want to thank one of our sound system, Bob, right over here, for doing the sound system for us. And Coquette Cruz is sitting back there. She's one of our healers this morning, and Cynthia Preston does it. It's one of the jobs that we don't usually remember to give thanks for. So if we could just give them a hand now for doing this now. For the message portion of our service now, Reverend Dr. Sheldon will be your message bearer. So please give him a warm welcome.
Okay, well, I'm being pulled over here straight ahead, the lady with the white coat there. Yes, you. May I have your name? Susan, Susan. Susan, I'm picking up a relative. I'm seeing her with grayish hair, kind of stern looking. And she, in the latter part of her life, she was somewhat, had a kind of an irritating persona. And sometimes the words she chose were quite hurtful. And she's connected to you, obviously. I'm feeling that she's like a mother or motherly type of energy in your life. But what I'm getting is that when she was much younger, she was almost like a different personality. She was very kind and very open and very warm. And then something happened in her life, and I'm getting a sense that there was a big loss in her life, and she became bitter as a result of that. But what's important for you to know is that some of that was projected onto you. And that bitterness was not really bitterness, it was really loneliness. And she wants you to really know that, and so that you don't take that personally. She always thought of you as someone who was a bright flame. And she wants you to continue that and to come out of your shell, because you've been in the shell because of the feeling of loss and yourself. And she wants you to know that it's time for you to move on and to reacquaint yourself with that loving, glowing part of yourself and come out from hiding and back into the world. And leave that with love and blessings. Okay, I'd like to come to time for one more here, and I'd like to come to the lady in the white. Trying to see your shirt. Yes, that's you. Yes, I can't see whether that's a brown color top or a gray. I can't see that far. That's with my cataract surgery. Okay. I see a male, and he is kind of had a sort of like a chubby face. I'm smelling cigars, so I think it's a cigar. I'm not sure whether it's a cigar or cigarettes, like the old-fashioned cigarette, like either Camels or one of those brands that we don't see today, Chesterfield or something. I don't know, Chesterfield is coming through, and they have no filters on it. And I see him smoking sort of like a chain smoker. What I'm picking up is that he didn't smoke, and he was okay. He was a veteran, and he fought in World War II. So he's in that generation. I'm seeing that he's sort of like an uncle and participated in a lot of family functions when you were younger. And he kind of looked out over you. And I want you to know that he's been looking out over you. I'm seeing a number of different spirits from that generation who were looking over you. I'm getting a sense that there's some issues that you've been dealing with that have to do with war. And I'm not quite understanding what that means, other than the fact that there was a lot of fighting around you growing up. And there was like a lot of dysfunction. But you managed to transcend that. You managed to really separate yourself from that, because there was a part of you, there is a part of you that knows better, that you have this real piece inside you that's extremely spiritual, and for some reason your soul came into this earth with the purpose of helping others. Okay, helping others who were in the same position. I'm seeing you with the ability to go out and to learn how to be of service to others through counseling, through going, possibly if you haven't been in school, to go back to school and study how to support others who are going through challenging times. Or maybe even volunteering your services in an organization that does that. It'll help you feel better about yourself, because you're here on this planet to do a service to others. And that's the very thing that makes you the happiest, is when you feel that you're giving yourself to others and doing something that's going to help make this world a better place. So please, if anything is holding you back, if any false beliefs that are holding you back, please work on letting them go and take that giant leap forward. Sometimes it's like standing at the ledge and jumping into the cold water and just kind of doing it. Just doing it. Don't even think about any ramifications. Just take a jump, a leap of faith, and it's all going to work out for you. I'm seeing a lot of success coming to you within the next 2 years. You're going to be changing, and you're going to look back and you're not going to recognize yourself. And so we leave that with a lot of love and blessings. Thank you all.
you shall render those messages. We would like to remind everyone that we will have our afternoon message service right in here, Colby Temple, from 12 to approximately 12:30. Sometimes we run over a little bit. A group of mediums and student mediums will be giving spirit readings to as many individuals as they can reach during this message service. Everyone is welcome. We encourage you to visit our bookstore, which is open from 11:30 to 5 p.m. today, and Monday through Saturdays from 10 to 6 p.m. Please rise now for our closing hymn number 203, Let There Be Peace on Earth. And then remain standing for our closing prayer.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it be with me. Let there be peace on earth, and let peace of God's love be. With God our Creator, children of free. Let's love with each other in perfect harmony. Let it begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song.
And let us just take an attitude of prayer now. Great Spirit, we give thanks for this sacred time we shared together right here this morning. And as we go forth into the rest of our day, may we just feel inspired to shine our lights brightly and share our loving hearts with all we meet along the journey today, knowing that we too are loved beyond measure and helping us to love ourselves unconditionally. For all these blessings and so much more, we say thank you, Spirit. Amen. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep the umbrellas up. Thank you for coming. Good job, Bob. Good job. I remember those days.
So who's gonna do it on his days?
I don't know. Well, we just find out.
Yeah, thank you. Monday instead.
You know, it might be worth seeing what Sandra Ward wants to learn how to do it. 'Cause she knows how to do it. That's true, and she can flowers, yeah, that's true. And she does. But yeah, she does me now, she still lives on, yeah, that's a good idea. Would you be willing to train? Yeah, okay. All right, okay, good idea. We'll go to the rest of them.